Alright guys, back with another one here. We have our 2007 PT Cruiser 2.4 base model. We're doing our CV axle passenger side change. So instead of showing you how to uninstall it, I was only able to catch the reinstall. So hopefully this helps you out, because this is definitely going to be that. So let's begin. So, as I get started here, I didn't get a chance to show you putting in the new one, but it's simple and plain. As you see, the one before was already out, so I just moved it out and stuck the new one in. Now, what I did, when you're putting that in, there's a ring that sits on the CV axle itself. It's between the splice on the rod, so you just want to kind of put that ring facing downwards, and it has an opening. You'll see it, it'll face down. You stick in there and pull it out, put it in there, and then eventually get to the point where you can't pull it out anymore. So that's why you saw me tugging on it, trying to pull it to make sure that it didn't come out. So then I'll show you the other side of reinstalling. And then also too, when you're reinstalling, my CV axle boot before, of course, had grease on it like no other, so you're gonna do a little bit of cleaning, or you're gonna want to do a little bit of cleaning before you reinstall it, so that way it's not giving you the same issues. This grease down there causes other things to go bad and start to give you issues, so you don't want to do that. So yeah, you just want to realign the knuckle back up, and yeah, the compressor fell. If you have a good zip tie, I suggest using that. I had one on there, but it was small, so it broke off and it fell, but I caught it. So, but yeah, working on that compressor. We're working on putting the knuckle back on. So I got the knuckle back in, and now I'm putting the knuckle bolts back in. Both of those were 13/16, so you can use that, or a 19 millimeter. I don't have the torque spec for that bolt, but I did use a breaker bar to take it off, and I'm going to use the same amount of force I used to take it off to put it back on. So as you see, I have grip pliers on the other side of the bolt holding it so it doesn't twist as I spin the nut on there and lock it down, and then they're just laid lightly on the back side of the rotor. So that's how you want to look at it. Press down completely, all the way flushed, not moving. And shout out to Huff for those socks. Still love them, even though they're kind of old. But yeah. So next we're going to do our tire rod. This is the inner tire rod, or the outer tire rod, I'm sorry. And the knuckle's still free, so a lot of people realign it back when the knuckle's down. I put the knuckle up first, so that way it kind of helps with the alignment, keeps it in track. And then this tire rod has like a little guard you see I'm putting on there. It just goes under the tire rod, and then you put it through. Snug that bolt up there. I used a 3/4 deep socket, or 14 or 15. And then of course the same method. I do not know the torque specs, so I use the breaker bar to use the same exact amount of force that I used to take it off to put it on. And little things here, you notice I have a wheel nut on the rotor just to keep it in place, so that way I don't have to worry about it flipping around while I'm doing this. It makes the job a whole lot easier. So yeah, use the breaker bar on that one, and we lock that nut in. And great photography, but whatever. So as you see here, we're getting close. We're not there yet, but now I'm gonna try to turn that in the best way possible to get it straight enough so I can just get a better view. It's up to you, you don't have to. And then as I begin ready to lock this wheel nut, CV axle wheel nut down. I've tried the original or the one that they sent with the new wheel hub. I mean, with the CV axle, that's actually wheel hub, and it didn't fit. So I just used the old one that I had, and it went on smooth. So sometimes that's what you have to do. Don't be scared if the new one doesn't fit. It's not you. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just car mechanics. You gotta do what you gotta do. So I used the old one. The old one was perfect, fine. Put it on there, locked it in, and same method, breaker bar. And then after you put the tire down, you want to go as hard as you can to there. So that's when you get as much as pressure down. So after you put everything back on, put the tire down, put the car down, and you want to tighten that wheel nut back up too as well. Don't know the specs for that. I'm gonna repeat. I do not know the specs, so you can definitely look that up for torque. And sorry for the view, like I said, just the camera. So that's I'm talking a lot to explain to you what's going on. All I'm doing is just tightening down the middle wheel hub, and that's it. I mean, I wish I had a better view. So yeah. I just tried the old one, and that one worked better, so. Alright, so that's what you want to look at, and that's what you want to see. Okay, so next, last but not least, we're going to put some brakes on here. Fairly simple. I tend to re-grease my brakes and clean them off before I put them on. So, it's up to you. But I highly recommend that. Because you're doing a lot too when you're moving this stuff around. So you just want to make sure everything's good. I think I just went upstairs and grabbed some paper towels, so that's what took so long. I am doing this from my home. Alright, so I'm messing around with these guard shields. I mean, I work on so many cars with these brakes, man, so if it takes me a minute, I apologize, but once you get that in the correct spot, then you can get ready to put those brakes back in there. At this point, job is pretty much brakes. You're done. You want to check back the inner CV axle, make sure there's no leaks coming from the seal. Transmission fluid will come out, so you want to put a little bit of transmission fluid back in the transmission or check it just to make sure that it's still in the correct spot with the dipstick. And you will have to get an alignment after this because you took down the tire rod and the CV. So go to your nearest local mechanic shop that has the alignment machine because you will need that. Very important. Other than that, just make sure everything is clean, wiped down, looks good, crystal clear. I'm going to also compress the brakes completely back down too, so then that way they will fit easy too. And then after that, you're pretty much done. You're just getting it all pretty much back together. So any questions or comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment box below. I am mobile. Been mechanics for about like 3 years. Going on 3 years now, so I am new. Any tips or anything you can see I can improve on, definitely comment as well. Any car info or any questions that you may have, let me know. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching.